Nothing.
I could sit over there and blow people's socks away. Like when people want to be a dick and say, because there's trolls out there all the time, and usually I don't engage in them, but sometimes people just get my go on things.
Next one is from Michael Durbin.
All right.
It's part of the Get My Go show.
Okay, wait 1 second.
Okay, the subject is steel supplements. Hi, Conan and Ola Glenn. After hearing Robert Frank and some Patreon roundtables over at Conan.me and hearing the commercial on K100, I got some of those awesome steel supplements using promo code RF10 to save 10%. The pre-workout and protein powder I got are tremendous. I would never make a suggestion as I know it would be ignored, but picture this. Conan, a vanilla cream pie handjob of the week in honor of the Scrumptious Steel Supplements protein powder. Mike Durbin, P.S. Stan the Man is number 13 in Brazil. That was very disrespectful for Mike.
But what does that mean at the end? P.S. Stan the Man. What's that?
I don't know.
Number
13. Stan the Man is number 13 in Brazil. I don't know what that means.
It's a Get My Go reference.
Oh, okay. We'll edit this out. Edit that out. Yeah.
They say that Trump does. What does Biden say he does? Does he say he does dog whistles or something?
Yeah.
That's Mike doing some Get My Go dog whistles.
He's whistling at them and they're hearing it.
Yeah.
And the 7 people that get it, their ears will perk up,
Bro, I got to tell you something, man, Billy, to get off the subject. There's this podcast, and I'm not going to mention it by name, but I noticed like they were really like bullying somebody. And I had to write to them. I literally, got in contact with them, and I said, do you first of all, like you guys don't personally know this person, but I had to tell them, you guys don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, next one's from Liam Stewart. Subject is Lex Luger's real life heat with Bret Hart. Question for Conan. I was watching the K100 clip about Nash's real life heat with Bret Hart. You mentioned in passing that Luger had heat with Bret Hart, but that darn Joe Feeney didn't press for details. Maybe he was drugged out of his gore. Your shit compared to stuff there. Wait, your shit compared to stuff there, man. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, whether you're driving a Pinto or driving a Mercedes, stop with what you're doing, stop with what you're playing. Sit down and listen to what I'm saying, and that's right. Don't fight, come together, because we in this thing forever, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest edition of Get My Go. That's right. We got that Get My Go with the flow, yo. And you know what? Life is too short. Let's love each other. And let's stop being delirious and stop being so serious and have some fun. Welcome to Get My Go, guys.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you think you get my go to that, man, he gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
All right, welcome back to Get My Go. Not sure what number episode this is. We might be playing them out of sequence, but
we're winging it.
Yeah. What we're doing today is
we're doing some clips from Wrestling with Reality, their news show or whatever it is, the Week in Review. We're not. I thought that's what we were doing.
No. Yeah, I'm shaking my head how awful it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're doing
the Week in Review. Like, who fucking cares?
The Week in Review. Yeah. And I had heard some of this before, so I'm pretty sure I know where we're going. And again, the ego, the fucking looking down on people, high horse nonsense is strong with this one.
Yeah. I'm just so glad that they did it, because there's no other podcasts or websites that do this stuff with a much bigger audience. Yeah. So it really makes sense why so many people around the world need to know what these guys think, because it's 1994.
Yeah, I think they recorded this at like 2 a.m. Monday night after Raw, and they didn't release it until Thursday. So these guys are so timely. I don't know what the fucking delay is. They're not editing the shows at all. They're not doing anything to soup them up or, add any bells and whistles. It's like, well, if they're doing it Monday night, why can't it come out Tuesday? There's no reason.
That would help move their listeners up from 18 to 26.
Every decision that they make, every logistical decision makes no fucking sense.
Everything is bad.
It's like everything. There's not one thing they do right.
I have a feeling, though, to be fair, that they actively wait for Chris Martin to completely embarrass himself on social media somehow. And then they want to release the episode.
So this is the Pro Wrestling Week in Review, Part 1, full WWE draft recap. This, again, recorded late Monday night, dropped the following Thursday.
Joining me tonight is the host of Inspired by Christopher,
one of my great good friends, the wonderful Mr. Christopher Martin. What is going on, Mr. Martin?
Okay, so as I tweeted earlier this week, Mr. Maxson has been called John's best friend. The Simple Man has been called his best friend. Rob's been called his best friend. The only loyal person, Brother Martin, who defends John till the very end, loves him with a full heart, idolizes him. This guy can't get called anything better than my great good friend.
One of my great good friends.
Yeah, he's the Klingon. One of the things I've got to say, just to sort of big myself up and compliment others, is that a lot of people say about with Disco Inferno, the reason why he's so good at podcasting is you can hear the energy in him as he's doing it. He's like, hey, and it's like, hey, this guy's fun. I have an episode which, by the time this episode is out, of episode of my podcast, It's Usually Hello, available on iTunes and Spreaker, with a comedian called Dave Landau that I'm very happy with because it was a very funny, edgy, energetic conversation. When you hear Wanglin talk at the start of this, you can hear nothing. He's just talking. He's not fucking. He already doesn't care about the stuff he's going to say. It's like, do you ever get when you're forced to watch a film by just say some annoying who keeps wanting to watch dramas about like what do they call them, Victorian times or Downton Abbey stuff, even though you've specifically told her, I don't like that accent, I don't like those stories, but the bitch keeps fucking saying, oh, I want to watch this new one, Lady Chatterley's Lover, and you think, why with me?
Wait a minute.
I don't make you watch fucking Star Wars. Not that I'm of course basing this on anyone.
Doing on this glorious Monday evening, early Tuesday morning, however we want to put it when we're taping it. How's life, buddy?
Was someone going before me or what? Right, raise my hand.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm stupid. Which one of these guys is from the industry, which makes it worthwhile actually listening to this?
Well, John,
who's the guy that wrestled at SummerSlam? I forget.
Don't forget, John hung out with Marty Jannetty in an airport bar once.
See?
Yeah, we throw tips out here, and usually they're ignored. But just for my benefit, could you do this for me, John? The intro music, when you get to the end of saying, "All right, how's it going, Chris?" and then Chris is going to speak. The intro's over, and the show is beginning. Please fade it out. You in no way need to play the entire 2 minutes and 48 seconds of Brad Armstrong's music. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
I'll just start fading it out earlier because I'm dreading the fact we have to listen to more of that clip where that song just keeps playing and playing and playing and playing, and it gives me a fucking headache.
Another tip that I gave out on Twitter this week to John. John, you only have 2 people left on your network, man, and they both have inferior sounding audio. It's really, really bad, especially Brother Martin's. You brag about having all these houses and shit and money. Buy these guys the most basic podcasting microphone on Amazon. Look at it as like an investment in your company, whatever. I mean, if you're going to have Brother Martin on every show that you do now, because there's nobody else, you kind of want him to be on your level of audio, which John's audio is not really that great either, but at least you can hear him. But
yeah, and at least I would give him advice. I would say devote more time to Sunny Salem because she actually has a personality. Chris Martin is just a fucking slob who's there. He's just taking up space. And his Walmart video of his hilarious Wally World prank is really topical, and it really makes me excited for this episode.
Some people might say I have a short fuse and I get irritated by the littlest things, but I'm telling you, if I was in that store and he did that, I would fucking be so angry at hearing that. Like, it is irritating as piss. I can't imagine why someone hasn't stopped him yet, why a customer hasn't gone, hey, can't you just say goodnight? Like, what the fuck, man? I had a bad day and you're making it worse. And furthermore, he shouldn't be mentioning Jesus or prayer on there. It's supposed to be non-denominational.
Cunt.
So let's get hopped up on some whoop chicken and let's talk about some wrestling, brother.
Hopped up.
Mike
hopped up on some whoop chicken. Now, I didn't know what that was, so I had to go to Urban Dictionary and look it up. Urban Dictionary says that it's a meth reference, and whoop chicken is high quality meth.
Yeah, Mike, I'm actually going to need you to play that clip again because apparently you played it from a separate room.
Yeah. Yeah. The music is as loud as Brother Martin's voice. So
I'm saying.
So let's get hopped up on some whoop chicken and let's talk about some wrestling, brother.
Whoop chicken. I don't know what the hell that is, but man, I like it. Well, yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that is, but it's all good, man.
Something tells me you do know what that means.
I'll bet you do.
Yeah. Why is the audio so bad for real? Like, what do you think is the what do you think's the backstory to this one?
It's only John's like 3rd or 4th year of podcasting. I'm sure eventually he'll get it.
I have a feeling that Wangland sent him a text as, "Hey there, man, LOL. Are you still awake and want to talk about whatever the fuck happened on the wrestling show?"
Yeah. Now, this is the night of the draft. I think Martin didn't watch any of it, and I think John only watched a little bit of it, but they'll get into that. All right, for this one, you're going to need to pay very close attention. I want you to listen to every word he's saying for his little story here, okay?
Wasn't anything I was really into. I got home from a friend's house that night, and then I turned it on for a little bit, and then I was so bored. We went out and had a fire right after that because it was more fun to just sit out by the fire and shoot the shit with some friends and to watch that. So,
all right, do you follow that storyline?
Yeah, wait a minute. He was at a friend's house, which was fun. He then left to come home to watch wrestling alone, which wasn't as fun as hanging out with friends. And he's shocked by this. So
no, you
more
missed,
fun.
Okay, go ahead.
So to have more fun afterwards, they go out and lit a fire.
But he went out and lit a fire with friends. But you just said you came home from your friend's house, watched Raw. It wasn't good, so you turned it off and you went outside and had a fire with friends.
What time does Raw? What time is Raw on at in the US of A?
8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, he's fucking lying.
I mean, dude, you can tell he's making up the story as he's going along. You know?
Yeah. So I invented a new app and then went outside and got in a fight with a guy, threw him into the fire. He killed him, but he came back to life because I healed him.
I mean, honestly, I gotta be sad, and I'm gonna pull out and be a little colorful tonight. The fucking show was a shit show.
That's called being colorful.
The I don't even know where to start. Like, it's so repetitive. And I said to someone recently, I was like, this fucking shtick is old, dude. Nobody wants to hear someone every week anymore shit on the product. It's just, what are you doing it for then if you don't enjoy it? Now, I understand a lot of it does suck, but like, it's, oh my God, just take your head out of your ass and change something every week. It's a shit show. It stinks. It's a shit show. It stinks. Pritchard's an idiot. It's a shit show. It stinks. AEW's terrible. Tony Khan's an idiot. It stinks. Bah, bah, bah. Every week, say something else.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can understand K100 or Pritchard or what's the guy, Cornette and stuff doing it because they make moolah from it. Wangland doesn't. So he has no reason to be doing this. Like, I used to hate watch talk shows, and then I stopped because it was actually giving me fucking stress.
Sure.
To do a list of the best. We can do a list top 5 favorite belts and top 5 ugliest belts.
You got it. I'm down for that one of these days over the next couple of weeks because there's so much we could talk about on that. A lot of nostalgia that we can get into. But I would love to do that one, Chris.
Right. Here's the problem with that. If we got Conan or Disco or Raven or whatever to talk about that could be interesting because that could then lead to stories. For example, cheap plug for Keeping 100 YouTube. Somebody sent in a question about Starrcade 98, which then led to Disco telling a story that I'd never heard before about Kevin Nash and Bill Goldberg having like a backstage argument / run-in or whatever after the show. I'd never heard that before. So if a wrestler was asked that, I would listen. 2 fucking nerds in hoodies, I'm not watching or listening.
Dana Brooke is still working in the WWE, I guess. I don't know why, but she is.
It's that Batista rub, I tell you.
That Batista something, man. There there's something that Batista gave that held her on for a bit there, but she's still over there. She's somebody that never gets better to me.
Well, like for people that don't know what we're talking about, Batista and Dana Brooke, they're a little bit, they're kind of flirtatious towards one another. And Batista, he has connections with Triple H because like they're really good friends. And I wouldn't be surprised if he said to Dana, "Hey, you are on the chopping block, and there's only one way that you can get off that chopping block because God knows there was so much more better talent that got fired than keeping her."
I love the fact that he said so much more better.
Man,
that's really going to change my opinion of him being a dumb fuck hick boy.
Welcome to the business, honey. That is quite the story and accusation there that she could only keep her job by sucking off Dave Batista. But I would like to read this to him, being that as usual he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Speaking to Flawsome Talk, Batista revealed that he and Brooke were simply having fun by flirting in a very cheesy way on social media. Once again, Martin fooled by a wizard.
Yeah. But I've said it all along that they think wrestling's real. Like there's so much evidence every time they speak that they think they're watching a legitimate sports show, that they don't get that this is a scripted program like a fucking Friends or Sopranos. It's fake. It's actors. It's storylines leading to shit. And there's some of the reasons why certain bad actors get kept around in shows / wrestlers is because they're not getting paid all that much. So it's not like Dana Brooks getting like 700,000 to $1 million a year. She's probably getting 600,000 a year. That pathetic amount of money.
You know what? Otis is going to be Mantar 2020. I knew it.
He's not Mantar to me. He reminds me of more of Bastion Booger or Friar Ferguson. By looking at him and putting that analogy, he's got way more personality than him, of course, but he just reminds me of Bastion Booger. It just hits me right there. Like he's a very Bastion Booger-like person. Or Friar Ferguson, who was played by Bastion Booger too.
No, just imagine him putting like the Mantar suit on with like the head, and you just hear him say, "Oh yeah!"
Oh,
it just come out. Oh my god, that would be great.
Never say never in the WWE. Maybe they'll do something like that.
Oh my god.
What was their point? They didn't make a point that he looks like Bastion Booger.
Yeah, he's fat.
That's the point.
Man,
it's two fucking nerds making each other laugh.
When I was way more into wrestling, I found podcasts to listen to that weren't like a wrestler's show. Like there's a podcasting group called Place to Be Nation. I haven't listened to them in a while, but when I did, they were very good. They were very knowledgeable. They were funny. They were clearly friends. They had a good rapport. They eventually had Kevin Kelly on, and they went through the entire 97 and 98 WWE with him. It was like way before Conrad and Pritchard, so it was fucking fascinating listens. The first time you ever heard from Kevin Kelly, what happened the night Owen died and all this shit. They were good. They were knowledgeable. They were funny. They had a good rapport. These guys have none of that. Their knowledge is shit. Their takes are mostly shit. Like I haven't agreed with anything they've said probably ever on the wrestling show. It's always bad. And they don't have much of a rapport either. So there's nothing here that you want. All they have is the ability to record a show and put it up. Like Chad said, it's just guys playing podcaster. In no way is this a show. It's not anything. It's not any fantasy.
Yeah, they add nothing.
No.
It's like they're just playing podcaster. And it's not a real show. It's a fantasy. Because Chad told me that.
You son of a bitch. I just said that.
No, Chad told me. See, the joke there, guys, is I was parodying Wrestling with Reality because that's what they do. They pass off secondhand quotes. Is it still called Wrestling with Reality?
Haven't heard that mentioned on any show in the last few weeks. No.
The logo is still the same.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Doesn't the Twitter say Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops podcast? So I thought that wasn't a podcast. I thought it was a feed. They're very it's not real, dude. It's not real. Yeah. This is all just play.
Pritchard probably did a little bit for his beef with her husband, Nick Aldis. Who Nick's a big fan of Johnny podcasting, Chris. We've heard, he's stealing my terms, get my go right now, Chris. But he better give credit where credit's due to the master, the person he's stealing his lines from there. So just going to throw that out there. But
it's just, again, it's just sad. That's sad. I understand. Like, the attempt is to be like, I'm in on the joke. I'm so cool.
Yeah.
And no recognition of the actual reality that Nick watches this. Hello, buddy. Great interview on K100, by the way. Made me a bigger fan.
Hello.
And finds your and finds you to be a fucking arrogant, annoying idiot, imbecile. And as Nick said prior to recording, or in the middle of recording the interview, he said it's not like this is happening in locker rooms around pro wrestling, AEW, WWE. Indies. He knows people that watch and listen to Get My Go and find it fucking humorous because you say stupid things and you're obviously a pathological liar and it's easy to see through. So you want to act like you're in on the joke, but the joke, it's just you. It's just you, and there's no coming back from it. Everyone thinks you're ridiculous.
Let me give credit where credit's due. Russo renamed him Huge Erection. Get it? Huge Erection. Yes.
Give me a break, man.
So what? So now they're taking the bashing Russo's pun name, but I thought the whole point of that faction was that there was Major Guns and General Reaction and all these pun names. Like, I thought was the entire point of the gimmick, the corny pun.
Yeah, Major Stash and Corporal Cajun and Lieutenant Loco. Wow, I can't believe holy shit. I remembered that, but
I think I wanted to clip that because I wanted to use the rim shot for a drop.
It's just I saw a tweet about this the other day. It really is appalling to me that occasionally Chris will, and he just on a show he recently did said he's a reformed Russo Mark. Then the next day he's wearing a T-shirt. Then he gets on Twitter and says, "I've never bashed Vince," and then someone posts like 6 tweets of him calling Vince a 60-year-old con artist. So that just drives me nuts, man. It's just two dishonest fucking hucksters on here, and just try to be honest. As I said before, in the Halloween version, just grow some fucking balls, Chris. You're a ballless pussy.
Yep.
We'll talk about Lars on the weekly topics that we're going to cover in the news. So we'll talk about him later on. So I'm just going to kind of skip over. Yeah, I'm going to skip over Lars, who came back on Friday Night SmackDown for now, because he warrants his own news section again, or his own news topic as well later on. But fourth round saw Elias.
Money.
What was that?
He's giving Marty Jannetty a run for his money.
Yeah, he really is. He's given him a really good run for his money on stupid social media of somebody who should never, ever be allowed to have social media. But we'll hit up him later on.
I know a guy with stupid social media who uploads videos of himself doing Wally World puns at work while not wearing a mask. For 7 views.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, whether driving a Pinto or driving a Mercedes, stop with what you're doing, stop with what you're saying, sit down and stop with what you're playing. And that's right. I'm back with a vengeance. I'm back on YouTube. And you know what? It's been a good minute. It's been a good while. And I know because I've had some people, and not a whole boatload, but I've had some people say to me, "Hey, Chris, your YouTube thing is actually pretty cool. So why don't you put some more content out?" And you know what? I'm thinking to myself, it's not a bad idea. It is not a bad idea whatsoever. So that's what I'm going to start doing.
Breathing his germy breath probably doesn't smell too great either, all over that phone thing. Yeah. So I didn't see him wipe it off. I don't know.
And it's weird that Wangdon would have a problem with Lars Sullivan because they've got a lot in common. Because I guess that Durban could play this clip.
You're in a desert. You got nothing else to do. I mean, guys get lonely. I'm just saying.
Hey, I don't know that far, but not me at least. I'm sure there was other people that did at least.
Johnny Podcast is gay.
Yeah, I clipped that for just the interplay between the two of them. Whenever they talk over each other, it just neither one of them gets heard. It's so bad. And you know what? When we do that, I take it out. Like you won't hear it.
That whole clip, I was going to say that whole clip that you played should have been edited out because what kind of information is it to give the listen? Why would you leave in 30 seconds to talk about something you're not going to talk about yet?
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking stupid. Another free tip.
Well, Chris, that wraps up our draft coverage for everybody. Are you ready to talk some news and some tag team, best tag teams of all time?
Yes, please.
Chris, I'm ready to talk about it too, and I hope everybody's ready to listen to it. But you got to come back tomorrow and listen to it, folks, because this is just going to be a standalone today for the draft because we went on for a pretty long time and broke it down pretty good. So check out part 2. It'll be out tomorrow. And we're going to talk about our favorite wrestling tag teams to close that show out. And then we're going to talk about all the news and rumors for the week, Chris. So check out part 2 tomorrow where we're going to hit on all that great stuff. We're going to have some fun talking about it. So, Chris, until then, let's say goodbye for tonight. You guys know where to find us on social media at IamCHM911 for Chris, and I am at CHHeatPops on Twitter. Chris, we're going to have some fun on part 2 tomorrow. So everybody come back for part 2, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's right. And this is called a cliffhanger, bitches. You got to get both parts to get the whole feeling that we're trying to give you.
Absolutely. We like to keep...
Absolutely.
Dude.
Absolutely.
I'll say it again and again. I don't care if he's gay. Right? And I have no problem with gay people or anything like that. But there's no denying he sounds like the most stereotypical camp gay person going. Like, has he ever acknowledged that we've said that he at least talks very effeminate?
No, he's trying to steer clear of that one
for the shows. So that's why sometimes we'll break it apart like this. But there's so many different topics, and the draft was a lot of different things. I think it's the best way to do it. So you got to come back tomorrow. Check out part 2. We're going to look at the news. We're going to look at the gossip, and then we're going to talk some favorite tag teams of all time. So, Chris, until tomorrow, we shall see you all then. Be good, be safe. We appreciate you listening to the show. And once again, don't forget to come back tomorrow and check out part 2, where we break down the news, the rumors, the gossip, and our favorite tag teams of all time. We will see you all tomorrow.
I'm at the edge of my seat.
That's a cliffhanger, bitches. No, it's not.
Fuck me.
I
just real quick, Husey, I just wanted to say that as we usually do, pull back the curtain here. It's our second in 2 shows that we're recording today. So we started out like having a good time in costumes and whatnot. And now you can see the passage of time starting to weigh heavily. Husey just is defeated, frustrated, just like, oh, God damn. So it does make for good video, but I can feel your pain, man. I can see it coming through the screen.
Yeah, I gained weight during that last one. Like, I lost years of my life that was not fun.
No,
it's just like it's not an obvious take to have, but they really are so bad, and the banter's bad, and it's bad audio. It's literally a bad podcast.
Yeah. I don't care like who it is. Like, if it was Batista doing a podcast, like if it sounded that bad, I would not listen to it. I'm just not able to. There's no excuse in 2020 for any price point of any microphone or any kind of recording device. There's no excuse for either of you to have such shitty audio. Stop.
Heat pops.
All right, Hughes, you're gonna tap out here.
I could do another bit, but I could give you about another 15-20 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna bring Hambone on.
Oh, great.
Well, you know what? I'll actually, never mind. I'll stay on. If you've already, I was going to say I'll dip when Husey does, but if you already got Hambone coming, I'll stay.
Yeah.
I say we kick Joe.
Let me message Hambone.
Hang on a sec. Are we switching? What are we doing? Are we switching to another? Are we doing the last 7 minutes or whatever?
Yeah, I'll just start another one.
All right. I'm going to get a snizzack.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. And this is called a cliffhanger, bitches.